it's Deanya. Hi, Hope Crew. Hi, YouTube. So this evening, I have an update for our weekly poetry challenge number 4. Number 4 was a poem with rhymes, using rhymes intentionally, and I asked you to do them in couplets so that you have an AA rhyme, the same rhyme for 2 lines, BB, CC, DD. And so this was a challenge just to get you to look at rhyme and see how it can be used in a poem to hide the rhyme or to emphasize the rhyme or to emphasize a concept or to something just for an effect. It can have a lot of different effects. And so the poem that I wrote in response to the rhyme challenge, you can see in the description part below. And so I used that strategy of AA, BB, CC, DD. And so here is my response to that. And after I read my response, then I will update the challenge for you for the next level to take it just up one more notch. And we'll look at the difference between that and this kind of poem. So, couplets. This is called The Place of Memories. Remembering times of happiness and hope can save our spirits and help us cope with disappointment, hurt, and shame. When torturing emotions call my name or sadness of the day seems hard to face, I now have memories to take their place. The morning sunrise, sparkling in dew, the evening before, the night with you. So that's my little rhyme challenge I did in couplets, you'll notice. So what we're going to do for the advanced rhyming couplets is we're going to tackle a sonnet. Because a sonnet is basically just a bunch of rhyming couplets, but they have what we call an interlocking rhyme scheme. And so instead of having A, B, B, C, C, D, D, you will have something interesting like A, B, A, B, or A, B, B, A, or A, B, C, A. You will have something very interesting going on. And you'll usually be able to kind of tell the pattern of the sonnet within the first 4 lines. Because it's normally the situation that a sonnet is a collection of 3 4-line stanzas and a couplet on the end. And if you're confused about any of these terms, just look back. They've been on one of the previous videos. But this is what we're going to look at to raise the bar a little bit on writing couplets and thinking about rhyme. So Shakespeare is probably the one that everybody has heard of who has written a sonnet and who writes in sonnet. And he did indeed write tons and tons of sonnets. And so actually one whole form of sonnet is named after Shakespeare. It's called the Shakespearean sonnet. And this has a very particular rhyme scheme because it's one that he used quite often. And if you look in the description, you will see. And so, you know, the letters represent the end sound of the lines. And so where you see a letter repeating, it means that that line will have the same end sound. So you can see the Shakespearean sonnet has a structure of AB, AB. And then CD, CD, and then EF, EF, and then GG at the end. And so let's see how he pulls this in. This is actually one of my favorite Shakespeare sonnets, and I'm a geek. I do have my favorite Shakespeare sonnets. And so this is My Mistress's Eyes sonnet. And so we can take that apart in a future video if you're interested in some literary criticism, some of these things taken apart for what things might be meaning. But just for now, we're going to be looking at the structure of the poem and how it does this Shakespearean sonnet thing. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why, then her breasts are dun. If hair be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love, as rare as Annie, she belied with faults compare. So you can see how he employed his own rhythmic structure. Yeah, he's talking about how the woman he loves is not as beautiful as some. He can't compare her to the most, but he loves her, and he thinks that his love is truer because he loves her as she is, not how he kind of imagines, or if she were more beautiful, maybe his love would not have to be as deep, something like that. So that's a Shakespearean sonnet. Now, you don't have to stay with that. If you want to think about how you can switch these end rhymes around, you will know that you're in good company, because the man who came after Shakespeare, Petrarch, had his own way of writing sonnets, and so he used a different rhyme scheme. As you'll see in the description, he used an A-B-B-A, where Shakespeare used A-B-A-B. Now Petrarch is saying A-B-B-A. And so then he goes on and repeats again the same sounds, A-B-B-A again. And then C-D-C, D-C-D. So you'll see in the description below, Milton had a way of writing, Spenser had a way of writing, and sonnets. And one thing that I want to share with you is a sonnet by a man named Denis Johnson, who wrote one of my absolute favorite all-time books called Jesus' Son. If you've seen the movie, don't even believe you know anything about the book. Get the book. And so Denis Johnson has a unique perspective on a lot of things. And so he's actually written his own kind of sonnet. And so his structure, you'll see in the description, is A-B-C, A-B-C, D-E, D-E, G-G-H-H. Again, all these weird ways to use couplets, right? And an interlocking rhyme scheme sometimes, and then just the plain couplet sometimes at the end. So I'll read you now Denis Johnson's sonnet. This is called White, White Collars. We work in a building where we are hideous in the fluorescent light, where our clothes woke up this morning and wrapped us up like jewels, and ride up and down the elevators filled with us, turning and returning like the spray of light that goes around dance halls among the dancing fools. This office smells like a theory, but here one weeps to see the goodness of the world laid bare and rising with the government on its lips. The alphabet congealing in the air around our heads. But in my belly's flames, someone is dancing, calling me by many names that are secret and filled with light, and rise and break, and I see my previous lives. It's pretty fun, huh? Yeah. Okay, so the last thing I would like to do as the advanced part of this part of the course today is I would like to share with you a couple of places to find more poetry online, particularly for sonnets. If you enjoy Shakespeare or you're trying to give an interest in Shakespeare, you might try YouTube and search for Patrick Stewart. He did a series called A Sonnet a Day, where he is reading one of Shakespeare's sonnets every single day. Yes, that's Captain Picard reading the sonnets. He is a great Shakespearean actor, make no mistake. Now, another place to look is to go to archive.org, archive.org, and this is a collection of books that have somehow maybe fallen into the public domain, or their publishers have released their rights to be in a library that is online. And so what you can do is you can actually go and get an account and you can check out books. And it's absolutely free. You just have your email and a password. It takes a while to verify the password, so if you haven't gotten it in a couple of hours, don't be shocked. But you can go online there and you can log in, and then you can search for anything, for any kind of book, children's books, cookbooks, oh my gosh, craft books you just wouldn't believe. And so they have this huge archive of archive.org of old websites and of books and magazines. They have old ladies' home journals, all kinds of things like that. It's a treasure trove. All the Foxfire books are there. And so there's a particular book there that I've put the name of in the description, and this is called Contemporary American Poetry. And pretty much all of these collections are good, but the one I'm particularly fond of is by A. Poulin, Poulin Jr. And so it's just called Contemporary American Poetry, and they've broken the words down on the cover to be really cute. But this is a stupendous poetry collection, and this is a collection that we often used in our poetry classes when I taught. It is full of contemporary poets that are going back a few years now, which is why it's you can read it online. But there are also good poetry magazines that you can check out, and I will be updating you with some of those as we go along. There's some really nice libraries and archives online. So poetry.org is very good. There's all kinds of places to go. But especially take a look at archive, and if you take a look at that particular book, I will be probably reading some of those poems and breaking them down in other classes, probably next April for Poetry Writing Month. But I think that's it for the extended dance remix of the rhyme challenge. So the second part of the rhyme challenge, which was couplets, is now going to be a sonnet. And if you try to write a sonnet and do the sonnet challenge, I will be posting mine and reading mine when I have it. And then there will be a new poetry challenge that drops on Monday. So we'll be doing something, maybe you're still working with rhyme. I'm not going to tell you even if I knew right now. Okay, it'll be a surprise. So I hope you have a wonderful week of writing, and tag me in your comments, tag me in your videos, and let me know if you're writing, and I'll come and appreciate your work. So I hope you have a great time, and be free.